Although hills or mountains are nowhere to be seen, the Lake Tisza region has exhibited exceptional growth in tourism in recent years, offering scores of attractions for someone setting out on a cycling adventure. Its main appeal for the two-wheeled traveler is the well-constructed, fully paved 65-kilometer-long dike surrounding the complete lake. It was built to control floods as well as storing water for drought seasons. Lake Tisza is also a popular tourist destination in Hungary for water sport activities, offering similar features to Lake Balaton at much cheaper prices and with less crowds. As an added bonus, Tisza has surprisingly rich and varied wildlife. The lake contains 50 different kinds of fish and gives home to over 200 species of birds. The bird reserve established on the lake is an important rest area for migrating birds when crossing Europe. Cyclists probably have the best opportunity to experience Tisza's natural diversity alone or with the family, as the terrain lends itself to an easy and safe bike ride. A sensible starting point for the bike ride is Poroslo, practically located where the main road, 33, reaches the lake. Alternatively, Tiszafüred, the region's capital, can also serve as the basis for the cycling tour. We decided on the latter, reserving accommodation at the most distinguished hotel the city offers. It is located next to the Hohet Tisza, a meander of the river which was cut off during the regulation of the Tisza, once so eloquently enchanted by one of the greatest Hungarian poets, Sándor Petőfi. From the hotel, we follow the direction pointing to Óbudszaluk, shortly arriving at the Tiszafüred Cycling Center. The distinctive building is hard to miss. It can be seen from many miles away. The center serves as the hub for not only dedicated bike tourists, but all visitors who wish to take a ride around the area. It offers a fleet of bicycles, numbering several hundred, allowing the visitor to rent the type of bicycle best suited to his or her size and needs. The first part of our journey takes us along the dockyards of Tiszafüred, serving as a parking lot for many fine water vessels. Continuing the ride on the dike, we have more than 20 kilometers to cover in the southerly direction of the region's water sport mecca, Óbudszaluk. As our goal is to cycle around the lake in a single day, we skip this very tempting opportunity. Instead, we take a welcome rest stop at the southern tip of the lake, where the boat and fish barrage is located. Our guide informs us that the water level variance between the lake and the lower branch of the Tisza River can be as high as 11 meters, 35 feet. Hence, the barrage is divided into no less than 27 sections. Each of these steps is at least 20 centimeters high, limiting the current the fish have to combat swimming upstream. Looking through the glass wall serving as a demonstration for the barrage system, we are astonished to see how hard it is for the fish to make this journey. Studying the fish barrage also provides a brilliant opportunity to take the shoes off and dip our clammy feet into the cool water. The ride continues by traversing the bridge over the Lake Tisza Dam. The ship barrage is controlled from the building next to the bridge. Standing there, we start to ponder about the quantity of the water held by this dam, looking at its vast surface on one side and the alarming depth on the other. Then we descend from the dike and follow the signs of the cycling route along the west side of the lake. We're heading north now, and soon recognize that Lake Tisza looks even more attractive from this perspective. But we press on, as the nearby Poroslo has so much more to offer. The town experienced massive progress in recent years, especially with the inauguration of the Tisza-Tavi Ökocentrum in 2012. It's a very unique and stunning project, a center to showcase our ecosystem. Our environmental journey begins 2 floors below the ground, with a complex system of aquariums, where the visitor is acquainted with nearly all the underwater species found in Hungary. The experience is difficult to put into words, as giant fish, sometimes over 2 meters in length, swim above our heads from one side of the corridor to the other. Moving on to the next section, the exhibition provides a detailed representation of the complete bird and plant life of the Lake Tisza region. From the top floor of the building, we enjoy an exceptional panorama of the lake. And looking in the northerly direction, we may even spot the contours of the Matra and Buk mountain ranges. From Poroslo, we take the main road to Tiszafüred. Fortunately, It now features a complimentary cycle lane. There is one more special program in store for us. We have a chance to paddle a canoe along the Tisza at sunset. The Füred Basin is the perfect spot for a relaxing water activity like this river canoe expedition, and the time of day makes it an opportunity not to be missed. We begin the journey on the calm waters of the Lake Tisza meander, taking the narrow waterways covered completely by giant trees. This experience is much reminiscent of the American Indian novels of our childhood. While paddling the waterways, we even have a chance to touch the unique flower of the Tisza Lake, the water caltrop, more commonly known as buffalo nut. Later, we learned that in ancient times, the fishermen made cooking flour by letting the so-called shoyam plant dry. We may also admire the protected nymphae, a tender aquatic plant from the water lilies family. On Sunday, our group takes part in the 65-kilometer-long Tisza to Marathon bicycle race, managing to encircle Lake Tisza in less than 2 hours, in a lightning pace compared to the discovery journey on the previous day. Our Hello Hungary team takes home both a gold and silver medal from the competition. Larissa proves to be the fastest woman rider on the course, while Martin comes second in the prominent senior category. The event has an informal atmosphere, accompanied by the obligatory pasta party with copious amounts of beer. Part of our victory celebration involves visiting a popular strudel shop in Poroslo, merely to compensate for the calories lost during the race. We return to Tisza Füred in the afternoon, where obviously no one shows any desire to engage in any of the vast array of programs the city offers. We just take a plunge in the lake, sunbathe on the beach, relax and recover from the race effort. On the other hand, the evening lends itself to some wine tasting, straight from the most famous cellars in nearby Tokaj. We don't consider this a sin, since no one is going to pedal a single stroke on that day. While sipping the best wines, we recollect our memories of this busy weekend, agreeing that both days provided numerous unforgettable moments. Lake Tisza, which was awarded the title European Destination of Excellence by the European Commission in 2010, holds many exciting adventures for the visitor, and although it lacks the mountains, it's well worth a visit for the cyclist, leisurely riders, families, or weekend warriors alike. We return home with a memorable experience as the mysterious world of Lake Tisza has just unfolded in front of our eyes.
Suntem la lacul Tisza.
It's the end of the bike marathon. We're in Poroslo. I have to say that I truly enjoyed my time here at Lake Tisza. The landscape is amazing, so is the atmosphere, and we have been treated to some really fine food. My room at the hotel has lovely scenery, and the swimming pool is certainly a welcome treat at the end of a day like this. The most memorable experience for me was the canoe ride along the river. I wholeheartedly recommend a visit to this enchanting region of Hungary. The bike race was exciting too. The participants of this bike tour raced as a team during the 65-kilometer event, managing to get 2 medals along the way. I truly enjoyed this fine program at Lake Tisza. The terrain is completely flat, making it ideal since I'm a bit overweight. Fortunately, there was a lot of experience to be had without them. For example, paddling a canoe along the meander. I've never tried anything like this before. It was truly exotic. I'd also like to highlight the crystal clear air and the lake's microclimate. In the Czech Republic, it tends to be quite dry in summer, and this feels so much better. Concerning the local cuisine, the flavors are not so different from the Slavic dishes which I'm used to. On the other hand, the Hungarian wines are truly special. I was keen to taste as many as I could. We tried to condense as many programs as humanly possible in this weekend in order to provide a sample of activities that may be of interest for the cyclist visiting the Lake Tisza region. The race held on the same weekend was a welcome opportunity. For some cyclists, the loop of Lake Tisza may be an important attraction. A 65-kilometer-long bike marathon can be a genuine challenge, a true bucket list item. In addition to taking part in the event as a team, the group of participants also took a separate trip around the lake, visiting the majority of the happenings around Tisza Lake. This included the newly opened cycle center in Tiszafüred, which has become one of the best-equipped bike rental hubs in Hungary. We also made a visit to the unique fish barrage in Kiskere, as well as taking a sunset canoe trip along the enchanted meanders of the Tisza River. This served to emphasize the natural heritage of the region, calling attention to the exceptionally rich bird and plant life of the Lake Tisza. The visit to the Eco Center in Porcelo also helped to demonstrate the nature values of the region. Lake Tisza lends itself to a substantive program for a long weekend for both locals and foreign tourists alike. It's been over 10 years since I made a visit to the Tisza Lake, and the progress I saw is staggering. There are way more recreational activities to choose from than a decade ago, especially regarding water sports. This was the first time I had a chance to ride along the west side of the lake, which not only offers a better view over the water and the natural landscape, but provides scores of recreational opportunities with beautiful beaches. So a ride around the lake is something I can recommend to all visitors. The rich bird life may also be the region's great attraction. The visit to the recently opened Ökocentrum and the lessons about the ecology was a great experience. Staying at a hotel overlooking the lake, having breakfast and dinner in the middle of this natural environment, is also something that the tourist shouldn't miss. The romantic canoe ride was the icing on the cake. The main attraction of Lake Tisza is that it's less crowded than the popular and sometimes too frequented Lake Balaton, making it more ideal as a cycling destination. There's no hassle, one can ride for hours enjoying the scenery and the peaceful atmosphere the region offers. Some of the beaches and dockyards still offer the ambiance of days in the past. They tend to remind me of my youth. I have to admit, recalling scenes from the popular 60s retro movie titled Chini Baba while riding the bike route around the lake. I mean this in a good way. The region is not at all backward. The developments of the region can really be felt. Nevertheless, speaking solely for myself, it still managed to preserve its old vibe. Of course, there is a lot more to do than just ride the cycleway around the lake. After a 3-4 hour bike ride, there is plenty to do in the rest of the day. For example, I recommend taking time to go out to the lake, do some water sport, or just take a leisurely canoe ride like we have done. The main towns around the lake offer some excellent programs, while still managing to preserve the calmness reminiscent of Tisza region. We still love Lake Balaton, but this tour was completely a different experience.